I want to take just a moment to walk through what the design process would be like working with me. So the first phase would be our interview process. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I ask a lot of questions. And again, I'm always trying to help you communicate as best as you can what your goals and your desires are. At the end of that meeting, we're going to have a list of bullet points, and they're going to be what I call your design criteria. I'm going to email that to you and get confirmation that this is the direction that we're heading. And once I do, I will send you a design agreement. It's basically just a one-page document that outlines what our working relationship is going to be, what I'm expecting from you and what you're expecting from me, and what that all should cost, and then how to avoid it costing any more. After you sign that and send it back to me along with your retainer, which is usually equal to about a third of the overall costs, we'll get right into the design process. The first stages of the design process, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on detail. It's going to be very basic. It'll be to scale, but it's not going to have a ton of detail or notes or dimensions and that sort of thing. I'm trying to get the layout nailed down first. I may have an elevation to show you, but we're trying to get the flow, the traffic flow, and the pattern of how you're going to live in your house. And so that's the first phase. As long as we're getting the green light, as far as that we're sort of hitting all cylinders and we're getting that design as you intended down correctly, then I will begin to add layers of information to the drawings. Pretty soon we'll get that into the computer and you'll be able to see just what the basic, I call it the exoskeleton. It's really just almost as if I were to build your house as a model out of cardboard. You're going to be able to see that rotating in 360 degrees, and it's an early look at what the geometry of your building is going to look like, what your home is going to look like. If it looks good at this phase, it's only going to get better once we add trim and doors and windows and details, brackets, whatever it's going to take to dress your house up. But we will walk through that whole design process systematically, and we'll revise as we need to. And as long as I'm getting the green light from you, we will add layers upon layers of notes and dimensions and details. And the end result will be a final set of construction drawings that most builders that I've worked with are comfortable with. And so the only phase after that would be the engineering phase. I'm not an architect and I'm not an engineer. Between myself and the builder, we might know where the beams go, but we're not going to be the ones to say this is how big this beam should be or this header, and this is what it's made out of. That's the engineer's responsibility. And so we have a relationship with an engineer. You're free to use whomever you wish to, but the relationship we have with our engineer has always been amicable for most people, and he does not charge very much, but that would be a separate relationship between you, the homeowner, and the engineer, and I'm happy to facilitate that and introduce you. But that's basically the design process. In addition to that retainer of 1/3 up front, I may bill you throughout the job cycle, depending on how long it's dragging out. There may be 1 or 2 invoices along the way, but ultimately there'll be a final invoice. The plans will have a watermark across the every sheet in the document set, and that will just simply be removed as soon as I have final payment. So that's the design process from beginning to end. It's very simple. I have done this hundreds of times, literally hundreds of times, for either brand new homes or additions to people's existing homes, and I can make it very enjoyable for you. That's my goal. My goal is to make it fun and to make it easy. So I look forward again to working with you on your project. Thank you.